reputations, everything's on and up, but they didn't show up today. Why?
No, but you look at this, there's no pressure on the ball. Salata picks it up here, straightforward ball, gives it away, switches off, and you're looking at the centre midfielder as the last player, trying to get the tackle in. Fantastic finish, but it's just about the pace. He has a little look, takes his touch, and quality finish. And for me, we're wondering where have they found this guy. It's a great finish, but a terrible defending from Slovakia.
They did spark to life briefly after the coach Vice made a change affecting his own son's role in the side.
Well, he had to do. On the evening he made a lot of changes, and this one is a great bit of skill. Hamsik swings his foot at, but he'd be proud of his son here. Fantastic first touch. Don't think the keeper does his best. He should be clearing this ball, but again, I don't think there was enough pressure put on the Armenia defence. But it's all about this first touch. He looks like he's going to pull the trigger. The first touch makes the chance. Fantastic and great finish. Question the goalkeeper.
Still, they got themselves level. There's a kiss for the old dad as well. 1-1 at half-time, and again on form. Slovakia have got to come out and dominate the second half. The exact reverse happened.
Well, you're thinking, okay, how have we got in here at 1-1? We've got a great chance. Let's go on and push on. We haven't played anywhere we like. This is a free kick, 60, 70 yards from goal. Ball whipped out wide. The substitute made a huge impact. Manicharian comes in, smashed the ball to keeper. But look at the reaction from the defenders. Careful, he's not going to break his neck to throw his body there. There's no reaction. There's 4 defenders there, 1 striker in the box at the moment. The left back, who had a torrid evening, shows him onto his stronger foot, gets his shot away, but look at the reaction from the defenders. Oh, looking at each other. And great finish from Gazarian.
Have they been guilty, in this particular case Slovakia, of assuming Armenia away will be okay there? We'll get something.
I would say after the Russian game they'll say okay, but it's complacency, and I would say that Vladimir Voice Senior would have stressed that before the game, that we can't let them
We
get
know
ahead
it's a
of
rough, tough journey to make, and Ireland found out it's a very draining distance away, and maybe that's played a part tonight. Not excusing how they've performed, but looking at the reasons.
For me, Paul, no excuses. You can't even talk about the travel. They're finely tuned athletes. They've got to go and play for 90 minutes. They've gone with a structure, with a plan. Their best players haven't seen. The captain, we never saw him all night. They played him left wing in the hole, up front. Too many players underachieved for me for Slovakia.
And we were dismissing Armenia beforehand, weren't we, after the first 2 games? We were quite wrong.
Yes, and we'll hold our hands up, Paul. We don't do it too many times, but we have.
You've got quite a record. I've got a terrible record.
But for me, this is about pace up the wings. Again, that's the midfielder trying to get back. You won't see the wide men get back. Great strike here. Fazeli, just off target. But again, look at the sharpness. No reaction from
Curtis, there is another point to come out of this. This is another country, Armenia, that's put a lot of time and effort to get in the under-21s to a good standard. And these are the players who are now coming through. That is a lesson for all countries, including our own, isn't it?
It is indeed, because I think the worrying thing for them is how technically gifted they all are.
All comfortable on the ball.
Every one of them very, very comfortable. But when you look at the skill here, this is your substitute can't get into the team. You know, he looked a hell of a player when he came on. Looked very, very dangerous. And you look at Slovakia, just... And we talk about going under the radar. I didn't really hear too much of this guy, but look at the energy. Running Skertel again, dangles his foot there, should finish. We give him benefit of the doubt. Slovakia players get back in there with a great chance. But later on, he's not going to be denied. But again, Zlatan, terrible defending. Skertel pulls his body out of the way. He's supposed to be one of your leaders.
Shakhtar paid 7 million for one of these young Armenians. Are there going to be others whose careers are going to take off?
Well, there's no doubt about it, isn't there? I'd say this Premier League manager's looking now and saying, okay, can we pay 2-3 million? Because you probably have to pay more than that.
Look what they've done to Skertel.
Well, he's looked all over the place, hasn't he? And the 2 centre-backs, the whole defence for me were shambolic at times, especially the left-back. And for me, when you look at the result, I think Ireland will be happy with the result, but even happier with the performance of Slovakia, because they won't be full of any confidence when we go playing them Tuesday.
This result and the manner of the victory, it puts Armenia right back in the hunt themselves, surely.
Well, if they play like that, Paul, you can see them getting goals against any team that they play. I don't think they were put under enough pressure during the game. But again, they're not panicking. He's on the edge of the box. There's no wild shots. There's nothing. Comes back. Again, look at the defending. Skertel just strolls out here. See Gazarian. You know, years ago you'd think of an Armenian player be trying to pull the trigger and try something spectacular, but they're technically gifted. Comes out to Mkhitaryan, and great strike by the goalkeeper, well deserved. But for me, the worrying part is Slovakia. Look at Skertel here when the ball comes back. Comes here, he should be throwing his body, but no. And it really shows that Liverpool are conceding so many goals when you got him at the heart of the defence.
We haven't got time to get started on Liverpool's problems on this show, old boy, but let's put you into the role of Trapattoni scout for the moment. What else can we take away from this concerning Ireland's fixture against Slovakia next week? Where can we get at this side?
Well, I think you've got to have a go at the two centre defenders. You can see here, for me this is a penalty. He's not even looking at the ball. It's a lad that just pushes him, but he hasn't got the pace to get back. Well, Vistian has given him 5 yards there, beats him for pace, and again the standing off, centre of the park, and the midfielder here...
They're not a side that are good enough to stand off and let the opposition play, are they? And they certainly did not do that when they were getting to the World Cup. They were pressing everywhere.
For me, I don't think they have the legs. In midfield, they give free kicks away. They're not progressive passers, so if they're not winning the tackles...
And what about wide outside?
And this is Zabavnik. He had an absolute nightmare. This guy's a 30-year-old defender, well experienced. He's right-footed left back, and he's all over the place.
We do have wingers. Can we hurt them out wide, both sides?
We have to, because they play a formation that the wide men are pushed right on, and they leave to their full-backs 1v1, and even if the full-backs do decide to get tight, you can run the channels with the two centre-backs who don't want to go into those channels. For me, they're the main key areas to get a goal against Slovakia.
And the other thing coming out of it, we know Vitek's not involved, of course, but no Stock going forward as well, as it would appear. He's got problems. Carried off second half. Here's the table. Ireland could go top and clear on top if we were to win later tonight, of course. Next for Slovakia, it is Ireland on Tuesday. But Curtis, how does Slovakia pick themselves up?
Well, they have to. I don't think they can blame anybody about the performance, and I would probably say that a lot of them should be apologising to the manager, because they didn't look like a team that had come off a great win away in Russia. They looked really, really poor. For Ireland, we're hoping that they still stay in the same mentality, because if they start off poorly at home on Tuesday, the crowd will get on their back and they will wilt.
Armenia on to 4.